man. Oh.
Hug me first!
Oh my God.
Whitney! Do it like it's your birthday. So you look gorgeous together.
Yeah.
Cute couple.
Oh, I really loved the parents meetup. I think the most outstanding for me was Scott's family, Jess's mom, Mitch's dad wanted to be an islander. He was hilarious. And I loved Whitney's mom and sister. But anyway, hey there. Thanks for stopping by. Welcome to my channel. It's your girl Valerie. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, comment, and turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island, Season 10, Episode 48. I wasn't expecting family meetup, but now that it's here, let's go. So first up is Zach and Molly's parents. So you have Zach's mother and sister and Molly's mom and dad. I loved Zach's mom. I loved how down to earth she was, and the fact that she greeted everyone, and she then told Zach off slightly without embarrassing him, and the sister, how caring she was as well, in the fact that Zach was nervous about meeting Molly's parents, especially after the Katie case. But the sister was able to give him tips like, just explain to them why you did it, and that you felt that, marry her was the best because that's how you feel about your connection with her. And it was nice to see his family try and build him up and sort of improve his confidence. And I think his mom sort of gave him a sort of code word to say, you're doing amazing, the fans are behind you, that sort of thing. That's the impression that I got from when she left, as she spoke to him to say, you're good, you're good, you're good. And for Molly's dad to pull Zach aside, well, I guess he just wanted Zach to know that he doesn't tolerate a lot of crap, but he did it in a respectful way, that he set boundaries with Zachariah, which I said last time, that Zachariah, if you set boundaries with him, he'll be fine. When he spoke to Whitney, she set boundaries with him. He was fine, and he made sure that he went along and didn't sort of go outside of those boundaries that Whitney had set. So for her dad to tell him that, you are going to be in the real world. You're going to have more attention than you did when you went into the villa. So I want to know that you're not going to mess about with my daughter, and you're not going to waste her time. And sort of now that you're this well-known celebrity and you can get any girl you like. So I liked that Molly's mom was on board as soon as she saw Zachariah, because when the dad was sort of trying to sort of question him or sort of make snide remarks, the mom was sort of correcting him. No, they're a beautiful couple. They've managed to get over the hurdle. They're getting along very well. They are perfect. I think Molly's mom was speaking positivity to try and get the fans on board. That way Molly can win, because I think Zach and Molly had code words that they discussed with their families, because the mom said to Molly, just keep doing what you're doing. You're doing amazing. Just keep. What is she doing? She's just keeping quiet and just waiting to be announced the winner. That's it. Nothing else. And that's the impression that I get, that she's got the fans behind her, and the mom is just telling her, don't cause any friction, don't cause any rift, keep going as you are, and you will win this thing, or you will be in the final, and you'll get more deals once you leave the villa. That's the impression that I got. Oh, Zachariah's mom crying when she left her son. Even Zach cried when he greeted his mom, and everyone was ecstatic for him that he got to meet his parents. And it was amazing. It's surprising that they're bringing parents for 6 couples, but hey, it is what it is. Next up is Ella B's mom and a friend and Mitch's parents. And I love Mitch's dad. He asked to go to the terrace, and it's like, oh my God, he's been watching it and saying, when I get there, I'm going to the terrace. And Ella B's mom was amazing. She was really supportive about her daughter, the fact that she praised her daughter. She spoke positivity into her daughter. Even the mom's friend did the same thing. And when they were asked about Mitch, they seemed a bit to have come on board, I think, with Mitch, because they said, Ella looked happy, she seemed comfortable, so, and that's all they wanted. Whereas Mitch's parents were saying that they were happy that Mitch looked happy. They were concerned about Ella B at first because they were not sure. They said she came across as someone who was cocky, but they've just realized that that's who she is. She's very loving and caring. They spoke about Abby, and it was like, oh, they threw a bit of shade. But then it was nice to see when they got to meet Ella B and her mom and how they got along. I think Mitch has a chance with Ella B, as long as he doesn't go all crazy Mitch on her. They should be fine. It's just if he shows out his crazy side, then I think her family might be nervous, but hopefully everything will work out. Then we had Whitney's mom and sister and Logan's mom and dad, and it was amazing to see. It was amazing. I love how Whitney's family is just as when you see Whitney's family, you know whose parents they whose mother and sister they are. I loved how bubbly and outgoing Whitney's sister was. They need to bring her on next season because oh my god, she'd be amazing. Because she's Whitney, but I think more I don't know, more censored version of Whitney. I don't know. I loved their sense of humor. I loved how well they got along as a family. And the fact that her mom actually asked questions. I was surprised they didn't say anything about Maddie, or maybe they're reserving that until they get home because at the moment they just want to talk about Logan since he's the one she's coupled up with. Logan's mom really loved Whitney, that she's outspoken, she's independent, she's confident, she seems outgoing. Even the dad is a man of few words, so he really didn't say much about, you know, the connection and stuff. And Logan, I love that Whitney's sister pulled him aside to say, let's have a chat. Tell me, how do you feel about my sister? What are your intentions since you're not closed off? And Logan had to come up to Whitney's mom and sister and tell them, I really like your daughter. I really am serious about her. I really do see a future with her, which was nice to see the respect. I don't know. As you know, I wanted Whitney with Maddie. I think Maddie is better for Whitney, but then maybe I'm just biased. But I loved how their families seemed to mesh and how comfortable they were sort of talking to one another. And I liked the banter between Logan and his dad when he was talking about his dad's tan and stuff. So that was sweet to see. And had Scott's mom and sister and Abby's mom and dad. And Abby's mom is a fan of Scott. Abby's mom is a fan of Scott. She really likes Scott. You can tell. She really likes Scott because when Abby was sort of saying, I don't know how Scott feels about me. I am worried that he might not feel about me the same way I feel about him. The mom was able to say to her, he really does like you. He really, and she spoke positivity into Abby in regards Scott. I think if the mom had the choice between Mitch and Scott, she'd choose Scott anytime, any day. I loved how positive Scott's sister spoke about him and his mom, how proud of him they were, even when he spoke about his time in Casa and what happened after Casa, how proud they were that he was still himself and he was someone who's genuine, someone who's not going to play up just because people ask him to do something, which is what we've all seen, that Scott is true to himself. He will never pretend to be anything that anybody else wants him to be. He will never put on an act. He will never sort of force anything. So it's nice to see that he is trying to genuinely explore a connection with Abby, and hopefully Abby speaking to Scott's sister was reassured in the sense that they told him Scott is not going to force a connection. Scott is not going to pretend to be something he's not. And I liked how Abby's mom was really speaking positivity. Abby's mom is sold on Scott. She had a way she'd marry her daughter to Scott because she really seems to love Scott. So I hope that sort of reassures Abby. And then we had Sammy's mom and dad and Jess's mom and stepdad. And Jess's mom is Jess's mom. The way she's just loud like Jess, the way she's very outgoing, she's bubbly. It was nice to see even the stepdad and how supportive they were of her. I don't know. I don't think Jess's mom is happy for Jess to be with Sammy. I really don't, because she sort of said Jess's friends are not sold on Sammy. And when she was asked how do you feel about Sammy, she just said and she left it at that. And it's like, just tell the truth. If you don't like him, you don't like him. It's okay. It's okay. So I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. Sammy's mom and dad really liked Jess. They spoke positivity about Jess. So it's nice to see that they like Jess. I don't know how that will play out long term. And I really hope that, they can continue to work on their connection, but we'll see how that plays out. Lastly was Ella's mom and sister and Ty's mom and brother, and it was nice to see how excited everyone was, excited to see their family members. It was nice to see the boys go from these rough boys into little boys when they're running to their mummies. It was sweet to watch. And so Ty's mom, I love the fact that she was honest and she said she felt some type of way when she noticed that Ella brought someone from Casa because she didn't you know want her son to feel that pain. No parent wants their child to go through any sort of pain. So I understand where she was coming from. I like the fact that his brother was very proud of him. They were proud of Ty. They've seen the growth and the development. I think everyone not just his family, the viewers as well have noticed that Ty is a new man. He has changed from the person who entered the villa uh, weeks ago. And so his mom was happy that he was in a good place with Ella, that he had told Ella he loves her. Yes, she was in her feelings about the Kasai situation. And I like the fact that even though she said it to Ty, when they sat down with Ella and Ella's mom, she brought it up again. Ella's mom, on the other hand, looked at it differently. She felt that it was necessary for Ella to bring Uzi back from Casa because she needed Ty to sort of change his behavior. He could lose Ella. So the mom was impressed by that. And I like the fact that both parents sort of said their piece and they were both happy with Ty and Ella. Ella's mom was sort of speaking about it as being something that was meant to be because they met in London for a bit and then suddenly they're all in the villa and they're getting along, they've fallen in love and blah blah. And I think she was now looking at grandchildren. The same thing about Whitney's mom was looking at grandchildren. What I found a bit strange was the fact that Whitney's mom asked about Whitney's relationship with Ella and whether they had worked on that. And yet I didn't see Ella's mom do the same. And for me, it was like, I don't know. I don't know. Because it's one thing to praise your child and to want the best for your child, but also have an honest conversation with your child. Maybe the mom didn't want to say anything on TV, but I like the fact that Whitney's mom acknowledged that there had been tension between Whitney and Ella, and she was happy that they had now made up because it was important that they do make up. And so seeing everyone with their family members was amazing, really. It was really amazing to see how they are getting along and how they are sort of loving towards their loved one and speaking positivity was amazing. I think the family meetup that stood out for me was Scott. I loved Scott's family. I love how they acknowledged him and how they spoke positivity and how they showed him with love and they told him not to worry about anybody else but himself and to continue being himself. I loved that. I loved Whitney's family meetup. I loved how they spoke positivity and how Whitney's sister was able to pull up Locke and sort of tell him how she felt and set out boundaries and their expectations as a family. So that's amazing to see. I still champion that I want Whitney with Mehdi, but that's just me. And then after that, the islanders got ready, took their drinks, and Locke sort of sat down with Whitney and told her. I like the fact that he says he wants to explore things and things to happen organically. He's not working on the villa time, he's working on his own time, which is amazing. But I still insist that Locke is an amazing guy, but I don't know whether he's the guy for Whitney. And Whitney is very controlled and she sort of holds back quite a lot. I liked her with Mehdi because at least she had someone to go have a back and forth with and sort of adjust and sort of see how they could make their relationship work. I'll still champion Whitney and Mehdi, but I want Whitney to win. So if Locke is it for her, then hey, that's it. And then Zachariah and Molly went out to the terrace. I have a feeling that bracelet was brought by Molly's mom. For Molly to say she bought a €3.50 bracelet, took it with her to the UK and then brought it back and didn't give it to Zachariah or didn't say anything about it until today after her parents have left. No. That sounds like it was staged. That sounds like it was meant to win the fans over, to sort of seal it like a commitment. And the fact that she minimized this bracelet that he had on, and she sort of said, "You have to get rid of this. It's dirty, it's filthy." I didn't like that because there's a reason why he's holding onto that bracelet. She doesn't know the reason behind it, and for her to minimize that, I didn't like that. Zachariah and Molly, for me, I don't know. I know all the other islanders that have left the villa say, oh, they spend a lot of time together. They don't even know what they discuss and blah, blah, blah. I don't quite see it. I don't quite see it. They might last for a couple of months, but I don't see it long term. But hey, it was a great episode. I really enjoyed it. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Apparently, it's talent show. I can't wait for who's going to be the indie of the season. But hey, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Bye, everyone.